today we found plastic on the streets of Delhi even after the government banned single-use plastic across India starting July 1st. Now, this is a ban on 19 plastic products, including everyday products such as straws, plastic glasses, spoons, forks, etc. But there are multiple questions. Is India ready for this ban? And will the extra expense be passed on to consumers, adding to inflation? And are there enough affordable alternatives available? And also, what are the changes that you can make to your life for a plastic-free life? We'll all answer all of these questions, but first, let's look at why this happened. Now, plastic has been swelling up our landfills, and there's also a study to say that it's now entering our blood. And that is why plastic is becoming an increasing environmental concern for India. And it comes in the background of this, that the government has banned single-use plastic. To get you the numbers, each year we generate a plastic equal to the weight of 7 Burj Khalifa. So we generate plastic equal to the weight of 7 of the world's tallest building. Imagine that. Now, 35 lakh tons of plastic is generated in India every year, and India is the 5th highest generator of plastic waste globally. This is all data by the government. Plastic makes up around 8% of our solid waste, and 40% of India's plastic ends up in landfills. That means only 60% of our plastic is recycled, 40% ends up in landfills, and since 8% of our solid waste is plastic, if we completely eradicate plastic, we'll be able to bring down our landfills by around 8%. Now, there's a study to say that plastic is even now found in our blood. Plastic is entering our body via air, water, food, etc. Now, in the backdrop of all of this, the government has banned single-use plastic. So what all is banned? What all are these 19 products? Plates, cups, glasses, cutlery, straws, cigarette packets, film on the sweet boxes that we see, earbuds that come with plastic sticks are banned because, of course, they can now come with bamboo sticks or wooden sticks, but not the plastic sticks. The plastic flags that we see being sold on the red lights are banned. Candy sticks and ice cream sticks are banned, and the thermocol that's used for decoration is banned. All of these products stand now banned. But today we visited the vendors of the markets of Delhi to understand how this ban is impacting them. They say this has led to a massive increase in their costs, as the alternatives such as wooden spoons and paper straws cost much more than their plastic alternatives. Let's listen in to how their prices will be impacted and how those will be transferred to you and me. For a small vendor, a plastic spoon earlier costed around 10 paise. Now a paper spoon costs 1.5 rupee, and that means that their cost of a straw have gone up by 15 times. The government has imposed a blanket ban on 19 plastic products that include these straws, spoons, forks, glasses and many other plastic products. But is India ready? Are the vendors ready to shift to this change, and how is it going to impact their costs? To understand this, we have with us Mr. Randhawa, who is the president of the Sarojini Nagar Traders Association. So thanks so much for speaking with us. And have the traders shifted to this change? Have they shifted to biodegradable products and paper straws and paper cups after this ban?
Ma'am, I am speaking Hindi, please.
Yes.
एक्चुअली क्या है कि गवर्नमेंट ने ठीक है पहले 1-2 महीने हमें टाइम दिया था कि ये प्लास्टिक बैन होने जा रहा है, ओके, पर उसका अल्टरनेटिव नहीं निकाला. उन्होंने ऑर्डर तो कर दिया कि ये चीज़ें बैन है. अब मैं अपनी दुकान पे सामान ये प्लास्टिक के बैग में देता था, ये मुझे पहले 1 रुपये कॉस्ट करती थी. अभी मैंने जो गवर्नमेंट ने अलाउ करा है कपड़े का बैन या गत्ते का बैन, वो मैं ले रहा हूँ तो मुझे 7 से 8 रुपये का पड़ रहा है. ये चम्मच थे खाने पीने के लिए, ये 25 पैसे कॉस्ट करता था, अभी लकड़ी का शुरू करा 1 रुपये का एक कर रहा है. दूसरा जिस प्लेट ये गिलासेस, सेम सबकी कहानी एक ही है. ये 30 पैसे कॉस्ट करता था, आज की डेट में ये 1 रुपये कॉस्ट कर रहा है. दूसरा ये प्लेट्स जो थी पहले की, ये थर्माकोल की या दूसरी जो थी उसमें हम दे देते, ये 1 रुपये कॉस्ट करती थी. अब ये हमने शुरू जो करी है, ये 10 रुपये की प्लेट आ रही है.
तो जैसा कि आप कह रहे हैं कि ये कॉस्ट अब आम जनता पर ही आएंगे, तो ये कितने समय में हम देख सकते हैं कि इन सब चीज़ों के दाम, ये जो हम राजमा चावल या बाहर से लेमन सोडा पीते हैं, इन सब के दाम कितनी जल्दी हम देख सकते हैं कि वो बढ़ेंगे इस बैन के बाद?
मुझे तो लगता है 10-15 दिन के अंदर ही बढ़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि कहाँ से देंगे हम लोग.
their input costs have gone up 7 times, 8 times, 10 times, and even 15 times for some products such as these straws. And they say that this cost is going to be passed on to the consumers in approximately 10 to 15 days. Something that costed around 30 rupees will now cost 40 rupees a plate of Rajma Chawal. That's going to be the impact of this plastic ban for you and me. But of course, it has to become a habit. These retailers say that people have to get their own bags, and that won't make them use these plastic bags, and that will eventually phase out plastic from our life. Now, what all are the alternatives that we can switch to after this plastic ban? Here's a report from an exhibition organized by the Delhi government promoting alternatives to plastic. Plastic spoons, forks all stand banned starting July 1st. So what do we use instead? Well, your obvious guesses might be a metal straw or a paper straw. But here we have a different story at the exhibition by the Delhi government to promote alternatives to plastic. Here we have a story of a leaf creating strays, creating plates. This is the leaf that we're talking about. It's cultivated in Karnataka, and that is creating alternatives to plastic that you can adapt in your life. Let's look at what these products are. Let's address questions about the affordability, about the accessibility, and whether it's actually practical for India today to shift from plastic to these products created by these leaves. Let's show you some of these products. These are the plates that we're talking about, the spoons, the forks that we're talking about, all of which are created by that one leaf that we showed you. All of these are biodegradable. Remember, plastic pollution is a huge problem in India, and that is what promoted the government to ban single-use plastic starting July 1st. India is the 5th highest producer of plastic waste globally. We only recycle about 60% of our plastic, and 40% of our plastic ends up in landfills. 8% of our total solid waste is created by plastic waste. So imagine that if we completely phase out plastic, 8% of our landfills would go down because all of that is made up by plastic. But is it really practical? We're in 2022 and this ban has been imposed, but can we actually shift to it? Now, to understand this, we have with us Prakriti Foundation, who is making these products for alternating from plastic to biodegradable products. So, what first question is about the affordability. How expensive are these products compared to their plastic alternatives?
It's competitive. It's competitive because, as I told, like there is no GST in these products, 0% GST, and if you first of all, there is no comparison with plastic and these products. You can't compare gold with the brass. Okay,
right.
So there is no comparison in that.
But the question still remains about the affordability of these products and whether people are actually aware of these alternatives before this blanket ban was imposed. And the generation that will take forward the choices and that will take forward the choice to shift to sustainable products is the younger generation. And we spoke to some schoolgoers who say that they are ready to make a short-term sacrifice, a short-term higher cost for the benefit of the environment in the longer term. Listen in. A ban on single-use plastic by the government. But at the end of it, it's on us to imbibe those changes in our life. Now, let's understand what the younger generation thinks. Are they ready to get these changes in their life and switch to non-plastic products? We have with us students of East Point School, and they're going to talk to us about this ban and what they think about this. So, are you going to make it a habit to switch to biodegradable products after this plastic has been banned?
Yes, I will definitely switch to metal straws and all things biodegradable because plastic is harming our planet severely and we need to take changes against it.
Right. It's really good to know that the younger generation understands that plastic is harming our environment. Which ban do you think is going to impact your life the most? Is it going to be plastic straws? Is it going to be the forks, the spoons? What is the thing that you use the most, and will you shift to biodegradable products for that?
It can definitely be the forks, spoons and like the straws and stuff, because like even if we have parties and we buy all these kinds of stuff, so we can use more biodegradable items because they are used so frequently. Yeah, this is so important.
And do you think the school or the government needs to do something to make sure that these biodegradable products, let's say the bamboo straws or the metal straws, are available to everybody? Do you think they need to be, let's say, distributed in your schools?
Yeah, the people in the school need to know that they need to stop using plastic, because the use of plastic is very harmful for us and all, for the environment, and by
Right. So do you think the school needs to do something, the government needs to do something? Of course, the ban is imposed, but to ensure that everybody has these products, do they need to be distributed to people to at least get an initiative started, to at least get them started to get this habit in their life?
The least that the government can do is advertise them more and more that is possible. The more people are aware and the more people can afford it can actually buy it from the nearby stores.
Because it has to look good on practice, not just on paper.
Exactly, and there I think she put it well at the end, that the ban is imposed, but at the end it comes to the practicality. A blanket ban, but it has to be practical, it has to be accessible, it has to be affordable for all of us. It's good to know that the younger generation is welcoming this ban and they're ready to switch to alternatives, and at the end it comes to all of us to switch to these alternatives to ensure that we do not pay a price for the environment in the longer term. With camera person Sanjay Kaushik in New Delhi, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.